I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today to celebrate a huge step forward for making sure that veterans can get access to a proven treatment for their post-traumatic stress. You'll have a chance to hear from some veterans whose lives have been transformed when they've been paired with a dog. You'll also have a chance to hear from some organizations who are leading the charge to provide work therapy that this bill creates a pilot program for. As many of you know, this is my last week in Congress, and it's a great way to go out is to pass a meaningful piece of legislation that will transform people's lives and literally save lives. Over the years, there have been lots of delays on this bill. First, the VA was studying the process. They took years to study, and then we were waiting on things to come back. And so finally, the VA has completed their study, and the House has now passed a bill that's a consensus bill. And I'm excited that we got it done. This is a policy I've been working on since 2015. And since that time, we have continued to lose 22 veterans and active duty service members a day to suicide. That's a tragic number, and I'd like to see us fix this bill and pass it and get it signed into law as soon as we can so that we lose less of our veterans and our service members and that they can get their lives back. I want to thank our Senate colleagues who are working so hard on this bill, and I want to get a chance to introduce the Senator from North Carolina, Mr. Tillis, who is leading the charge on this bill. I want to thank him, right behind me, for his hard work, and I give you Senator Tillis.
Congressman Stivers, thank you so much for your hard work on this bill. You've been working on it, and you made in your comments, you said, let's fix this bill. I think you fixed it. When you get a unanimous support out of the House of Representatives on anything, it's got to be close to perfect. So now our job is to take this bill and get it passed into law. I want to just thank all the House members who supported the bill. I think the recent VA study proved the efficacy of dogs with the kind of training, the therapeutic effect that it has, and we can't forget that this can save lives. This is not only improving the quality of life, but this is literally an opportunity for us to save lives. I think creating the 5-year pilot program makes sense, and now it's just on us to get it done. So I know you're leaving us, and we're going to miss you. I'd almost like to get this thing done before you're gone. That may be a press, but I don't know. What I will commit to everybody here and every veteran who could benefit from the relationship that you have with the dog, I'm going to work hard this Congress to make sure it gets passed and hopefully set a target to get it done before Memorial Day. So thank you all for the hard work. Congressman Stivers, we're going to miss you in Congress. I wish you the very best, and thank you for your tireless work on behalf of veterans. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to quickly introduce the team that helped get us where we are today. And I'll introduce them just because they're in this order from left to right. But Alyssa Slotkin put in a ton of work. She's on the Veterans Affairs Committee. Put in a ton of work to get Democratic co-sponsors, worked with the committee staff, worked with the committee chairman. Thank you. Our lead sponsor, Kathleen Rice from New York, who has worked on this bill with me for now two terms, so for 4 years, and she's done a ton of work. Congressman Mike Wallace from Florida, who is going to be taking over the lead on the Republican side after I leave, to help make sure we get this bill continued to move. And Sheriff Rutherford, also from Florida, who's a sheriff and has been a real voice on this issue because he knows firsthand the difference that those service dogs make. And Mikey Sherrill from New Jersey, who is from a military family and understands the difference that these service dogs can transform people's lives. Now I want to turn it over to the lead Democratic sponsor, Kathleen Rice.
Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you so much for your hard work on this bill. The senator said it very well. Anytime that you can get as many co-sponsors as we were able to get on this bill in this Congress, that is nothing short of a miracle. And I'm not surprised that it is on a bill that will enable us to help the brave men and women, our veterans, who serve and defend this great democracy of ours. we need to be there for them, and enabling them to get treatment through dog therapy is just one other tool in our toolbox to help the brave men and women who serve this country. I want to give a shout out to the fabulous trainers of these dogs who become lifelong companions to our veterans. They do such an astonishing, amazing job getting these animals ready to be lifelong partners to our veterans. So I want to thank them so much. And I now have the honor of introducing another of our colleagues from Florida who served in the Army for 24 years and is presently serving in the National Guard, Representative Mike Wallace from Florida.
Thank you. So, as Representative Rice mentioned, I'm a combat veteran. Myself, I've suffered and dealt with PTSD, with TBI. We need to not be afraid to talk about it. We need to not be shy about talking about how devastating it is to our veterans community, not the ones who have served. We have special operators in 70 to 90 countries on any given day as we speak. So, two things. One, that provider in the VA should have a full menu besides drugs to provide that veteran, whether it's medicinal marijuana, whether it is service dogs, whether it's hyperbaric chambers. We need to expand that menu of options. And on service dogs in particular, frankly, it's ridiculous that the VA has taken this long to study their efficacy. All of us who have worked with veterans, who are veterans, know that they are beneficial, know that they are saving lives. And the thing that's most striking to me is how many veterans that I talk to that have gone from literally dozens of medications and therapeutics to almost none or none once they get their service dog. And I think I'd encourage you to take a minute to talk to our veterans that we have here with their dogs. The last time we had one of these conferences, we had a female veteran who was a heroin addict, became a heroin addict after her service to cope with her service. And after having her dog, not only is she clean, she's thriving at her job, with her family, and back in society. That's the impact these dogs can have and will have, and it's long past due for the VA to provide this as one of the services that they provide to our veterans. We cannot sustain the all-volunteer military of the future if we have our veterans breaking and we have our families breaking. We will have to go to some type of mandatory service if we continue to lose 22 veterans a day to suicide. So this isn't just the right thing to do. It has national security and strategic implications. And I just want to thank my wingman, Sheriff Rutherford, Congressman Stivers. You have just made this a mission, and you've gotten it done not once but twice in a bipartisan fashion. No pressure, Senator. If we can get it done, you guys, you guys can get it done, and I look forward to seeing this signed into law. And finally, I want to thank Canine for Warriors, just on the edge of my district and Congressman Rutherford's district, for the fantastic work they're doing day in, day out, and the fantastic work they've done up here. God bless. Thanks so much. And I am handing off to, in a bipartisan way, from we've known each other many years and continue to do a lot of great work together on Armed Services Committee, Ms. Liz.
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Congressman Waltz. I especially want to thank Congressman Stivers. He's been so committed to passing this bill, and I wish him all the best. And I want to say, as I said yesterday, this is really for Senator Tillis's benefit. My biggest issue with working on this bill was not that it was bipartisan, was not that Congressman Stivers was a Republican, but if I, as a Michigander, can work with someone from Ohio this closely, if I can tag team with someone who went to Ohio State University, then anything is possible. Senator, please get this done. I will say we have two of these veteran service dog organizations in my district. Blue Star Service Dogs and Veteran Service Dogs, and I have gotten a chance to visit and seen with my own eyes what the impact of a dog plus a veteran who is suffering can have. I met people like Shane. He's a Navy vet who adopted and trained his service dog. And just to be very specific about it, the dog wakes him up from nightmares. He picks up things that he's dropped. He helps him manage large crowds and get through it with dignity. And the issue is particularly personal to me just because I'm an Army wife. My stepdaughter is currently active duty. My other stepdaughter is a physician for the VA. So this issue that I've seen up close and personal. And as everyone has said here, it's far past time that the VA understand this. The trainers that are here, the veterans that are here, they understand the combination of what a service dog and a suffering veteran mean. And it's just far past time where the VA can mention and notice the same thing. I'm very much hoping that we can do this for Representative Stivers as he heads off into his next job. I feel particularly it's important now more than ever to show a bipartisan effort to get something done. It is still possible, and I think we stand in support of that. So with that, I will hand it off to Representative Rutherford.
Good job, Lisa.
Thank you very much. Listen, I want to say thank you to General Stivers, because he knows firsthand. He's not only a congressman, but he's a general, and he knows firsthand, which I think is why he's so passionate about this issue, as well as my good friend Mike Wallace from the district just below me there in Florida. We know what these dogs can do, the impact that they can have in these veterans' lives. Canines for Warriors, which is right over here, I want to give them a hand.
Hey.
Tremendous group. They proved to us years ago, proved to me years ago, when I was touring their facility. And I actually had a member come up to me and he said, you know, Sheriff, but for this dog, I wouldn't be here today. And he was serious. And so not only are we losing 22 a day, but these dogs not only stop them from committing suicide, but they also allow them to live better lives because they need fewer medications to get through the day. And so I'm very proud to be working on this bill with General Stivers and Mike and all the others you see here, Kathleen, all these members who really care about our veterans. And I'm glad the Veterans Administration is finally wrapping up their report after years, and they're proving what we already knew from Canines for Warriors. These dogs have a very positive impact. And now another veteran for you is Congresswoman Cheryl from New Jersey. Congresswoman.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, this has been so wonderful to work with Rep. Stivers, and what a crowning achievement to have this get through the House on such a bipartisan basis. We don't see that as much as we'd like around here. I first came into contact with how helpful service dogs could be for our veterans suffering from PTSD when I was at a firefighters union picnic, and they had passed the hat to get a service dog for a Vietnam era veteran from our community. So he had been struggling with the after effects of PTSD since his service in Vietnam. It had gotten to the point where he could barely leave his home. But he told us that with this dog, he felt comfortable interacting with people again, that he got off the multiple medications he was taking, and that for the first time in decades, he felt like he had his life back. And I'll tell you, when I think of that, it reminds me how critical it is that we act on this quickly so that we can hopefully get so many of our veterans the help they need without them having to suffer for decades. So, Senator Tillis, if you need any help getting this through the Senate, I recommend the floor cards that Rep. Stivers had with the Golden Retriever puppy on the bottom. I found them very easy to get support for this bill. Finally, I'll say I was just down with our special operators at an exercise yesterday. And I talked to classmates of mine from the Naval Academy who've been on multiple combat tours. Our military works very, very hard to make sure we take care of our operators. But with this program, we can help ensure another piece of the puzzle to make sure that we're taking care of those who have taken such great care of this nation and of us. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Congresswoman Cheryl. Great job. And as you've gotten a chance to meet all of the leaders in the House on this bill and the leader in the Senate, and Kirsten Sinema is also a leader in the Senate. She couldn't be here today, but she is behind this bill, and between what she's going to do and Senator Tillis is going to do, we're going to move it forward in the Senate. I want to recognize some of our coalition partners on this bill: the American Legion, Allstate, Canines for Warriors, Simple Canine, Nestle Purina, and PAWS for People. They've done an incredible job of supporting this legislation as we moved it through. And now I want to turn it over to Mario Marquez of the American Legion. It's all good. Thanks.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the American Legion, we'd like to thank you for the passage of the Puppies Assisting Wounded Service Members for Veterans Therapy Act of 2021. It is essential that we get this legislature all the way through, as it provides an alternative treatment for veterans serving from mental health conditions such as PTSD. Offering a wider variety of mental health treatment options encourages help-seeking behavior, because it allows the veteran to choose their preferred method of treatment and gain a sense of control in their journey to recovery and having some sort of normal life. Our organization is proud to support the efforts to bring this valued resource to the veteran community, and we hope that this will make it through the Senate with the help of Senator Tillis and Senator Sinema by Memorial Day. Personally, I'm a retired Marine Sergeant Major. I retired in December after 31 years. And this piece of legislation is critical to helping those on the inside, on the Department of Defense, to have something to look forward to as our veterans transition out and they join the community out here, because sometimes it's a lonely journey. And I will tell you that my 7-month-old chocolate Labrador Retriever, who's in training right now, has been a life-changing little buddy in my life. And so I'm grateful for all of you, for everything you're doing. Thank you so much, and let's get this to the finish line, please. Thank you.
Thanks, Sir Major. Now I'd like to introduce Desmond Spencer from Allstate. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Desmond Spencer from Allstate Insurance. Allstate is pleased to see the passing of this bill get through the House. We sent a letter of support to Congress that says as much. As a veteran, an Air Force veteran myself, I've personally seen the type of benefit that this care can provide to my fellow veterans and family members. Also, as an Ohio State graduate and someone who is stationed at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Dayton, Ohio, I'm extremely thrilled to see Representative Stivers lead the way. So again, thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing this bill signed into law.
Thanks, OA. That's all right.
Bill Saltzman.
Now I'd like to introduce Bill Saltzman from Nestle Purina.
Nestle Purina Pet Care is very proud to stand with Representative Stivers and all the distinguished members today and celebrate the bipartisan passage of the Veterans Therapy Act. This bill is important to everyone here because it will mean more veterans will continue on their journey to healing. At Purina, we're driven by a fundamental belief that pets and people are better together. We're also a proud military-friendly employer, and in 2018, our Purina Dog Chow brand saw the need to train more dogs to be paired with veterans living with PTSD. So we created the Dog Chow Service Dog Salute, and through this program, we work with 2 outside expert non-for-profits in training the dogs. It takes a special type of training, and we've seen firsthand what the positive impact, the life-changing impact is for the veterans and for their families. Our work continues, and over the last 3 years, we have donated $735,000 to train service dogs, and we are just getting started. So in closing, let me emphasize that there is an urgent need to pair more trained service dogs for veterans living with PTSD. This training can be costly and it can be time consuming because these dogs learn remarkable skills, like reminding the veteran to take their medications and actually laying their body across the veteran to provide a source of comfort when they're having a panic attack. But it's critically important that we continue in this work because it is truly life-saving. Representative Stivers, thank you again for being such a courageous and unwavering leader on this important legislation, and we're proud to be here with you today. Now I'd like to bring up Patty Dodson from Canines for Warriors.
Good afternoon. What a great day this is to be here and celebrate on behalf of Canines for Warriors, our 700 warrior and service dog graduates, and also especially our warriors on the wait list, the long wait list. We want to say how grateful we are to Congressman Stivers and every member and colleague who has stood shoulder to shoulder with him and has said we can wait no longer to get well-trained service dogs in the hands of our war fighters with PTSD, because they served us, they protected us valiantly, and we owe it to them. We are so grateful by Congressman Stivers' dog just determination and his relentless staff has gotten this bill passed again a second time. And he has stood with those who said that this is a worthy expenditure and use of our government dollars. And not only that, we owe that to fulfill this obligation to our veterans. So I know, and we know, there are veterans across the country now aware of this bill, who are out there feeling a renewed sense of hope, a renewed sense of faith that hopefully soon they're going to get an opportunity to get into one of these service dog training programs or receive a service dog, a well-trained service dog that's going to be complementary to the traditional therapies that have not helped them alone to get past this. So we are looking forward to working with the VA to show them through rigorous reporting that what we have known beyond a reasonable doubt, that these service dogs work. There is mounting scientific evidence that show they are not only bringing and restoring life, but they're saving lives. We have living, breathing examples walking this earth. We have Mindy with Tioga, and we have Jared with Tom, who, because of their service dogs, will tell you they're here with us today, but more importantly, they're with their families and their loved ones as a result of their service dogs. So we look forward to working with the Senate co-sponsors to get this over the finish line and passed into law. And so God bless you all. I'd like to introduce our friends at Semper Canine, Chris Beatty. Chris and his beautiful and amazing wife Amanda started Semper Canine's assistance dogs and does similar work that Canines for Warriors does, and we love working with them. Thanks, Chris.
Hello, I come to you what I would call the front lines of disabled veterans. Myself, Canines for Warriors, PAWS for People, PAWS for Pets, or excuse me, PAWS for Pets. We're all working with these veterans coming out of the military, trying to transition, that are dealing with mental health. And up until the Purdue University and Canines for Warriors, up until the VA study and the results came out, that there is these signs of empirical evidence. These service dogs are directly affecting the lives of our veterans coming out. So myself with Semper Canine, as well as Canines for Warriors, and all the frontline workers, service dog providers and organizations out there providing those, know that the passing of this bill provides direct coverage and direct acceptance of service dogs for veterans dealing with post-traumatic stress, traumatic brain injury, and military sexual trauma. So anything that's helping veterans, anything that we consider successful and effective, we're all for. We look forward to this, as well as all the members that have co-sponsored and that are following this bill. The results are out there. So definitely, everybody kind of, sorry, get a little emotional there, my apologies. So we've seen, I've gotten a lot of phone calls, a lot of messages from people just because of this press conference that, everybody's very excited. The entire veteran community is very excited to finally see some headway and some progress and the struggles that organizations and these veterans are dealing with. So thank you very much. As well, another service dog recipient, Randy Powers with PAWS for Vets.
Thank you, and how many different ways can we say thank you for allowing this bill to go through, pass, and you're absolutely changing not only veterans, but everybody's life. It's not just the veteran that benefits by having these dogs. And by having a bill, which will make it a little bit easier for veterans with PTS and other psychological issues, you're also saving families. You're saving the family unit, the children in the family, the spouse. So what you're doing is helping all of us. We appreciate it. General, congratulations. Sir, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate everything Senator tells us. So thank you.
And we're available for questions. If anybody has questions for the senator or any of the speakers, anybody, any questions? Yes, sir.
Senator Tillis, you mentioned Memorial Day. Have you found any real opposition to this bill within the Senate?
We haven't yet. You know, we have a process that we can go through to hotline it to see if there are any objections, and I have the right to offer it up for unanimous consent. I would like to make progress on this quickly. It's something that you can see, you know, like I said earlier, it'd be hard to get on the suspension calendar a resolution recognizing that the sky is blue. And so they did this, and they worked hard on it.
Two people would vote against it.
Over years. So I think it's really, on Memorial Day in particular, I think you got to listen to what Congressman Stivers said and what others have said. An average of 22 veterans take their life every single day in this country. And this is something that will save lives. Why wait?